Welcome back for another deep dive with us. This time, we're going all the way to Cape Town, South Africa. We're going to meet Nandi. She's 17 years old, and it's the holiday season, but instead of, thinking about gifts and celebrations and all that, she's facing this really, really tough decision about her education. It's a story about resilience and dreams and some really unexpected opportunities.
It's really interesting because it brings up something that so many students all over the world face. That idea of trying to balance your dreams with your responsibilities. And sometimes, sadly, financial pressures can feel like this, just insurmountable barrier, forcing young people to make these incredibly difficult choices about their future.
Yeah, and that's where we find Nandi, right? She lives in this rundown apartment. She's juggling school with like a bunch of part-time jobs, trying to help support her family. And then right before the holidays, like to add fuel to the fire, her mom loses her job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's a tough situation. Yeah, it's a situation that could make the idea of pursuing higher education just seem like a distant dream, especially when you have these immediate needs, like putting food on the table and things like that. Those have to take priority.
for sure. So she's at this crossroads, right? Drop out of school to help her family or stay in school and chase this future that just feels further and further out of reach. And I can only imagine at 17 the weight of that decision. But this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. She's walking home one day feeling completely defeated, and she spots this like shimmering glow. And get this, it's coming from a pinky ring.
A pinky ring.
A pinky ring.
That's so interesting.
Right.
It's like the universe is sending her a sign, like a little glimmer of hope in the midst of all this despair.
Totally. And that glimmer leads her to meet the ring's owner. This man named, and I'm not kidding, Mr. Grant Money.
Mr. Grant Money.
I know.
It does have a certain...
When I first heard that, I was like, okay, this is about to get interesting.
It sounds like destiny.
Right.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I got
And it turns out Mr. Grant Money knows about Nandi's struggles. He sees her potential even when maybe she doesn't see it herself. And he introduces her to this whole idea of scholarships as a way to like make her education dreams a reality. Can you give us a little bit more insight into scholarships? I know they're important, but for someone like Nandi, what kind of impact can they actually have?
So scholarships can be absolutely life-changing. They're these financial awards that students receive to help pay for school. And the best part is you don't have to pay them back. So this is especially crucial for students who are facing financial hardship because it really levels the playing field. It makes education accessible to those who might otherwise not be able to afford it. So you think about it, for Nandi, a scholarship could be the difference between giving up on her dreams and actually achieving them.
Yeah, that really puts it into perspective. It's not just about getting some financial assistance. It's about like literally opening doors that might have seemed completely closed.
Yeah.
So tell me, where do scholarships come from? Like, how does that all work?
Scholarships can come from all kinds of places, universities, private foundations, even corporations. There are scholarships specifically for certain fields of study, and there are some that are specifically aimed at helping students from underrepresented backgrounds. So there really is a whole world of possibilities out there.
But with so many options, it can be kind of overwhelming to know where to even begin, right?
Absolutely. That's where Mr. Grant Money steps in to guide Nandi. He starts by helping her identify her strengths, so her volunteer work at a local food bank, and her passion for art. Now, these might seem like ordinary things, but he sees them as really valuable assets. What do you think about that? I mean, do those qualities really matter when you're applying for scholarships?
Yeah, I think initially I might have thought like volunteering is great, but does it really make a difference on a scholarship application? But the way you're explaining it, yeah, I mean, it shows dedication. It shows this commitment to something bigger than yourself.
That's exactly right. It's all about how Nandi frames those experiences. So her community service, it demonstrates compassion, empathy, a willingness to give back, her passion for art, that reveals creativity, self-expression, a drive to create something beautiful. These are all qualities that scholarship committees look for.
So it's not just about grades and test scores. It's about like showcasing who you are as a person. But how does she communicate that effectively?
Well, that's where the power of storytelling comes into play. Mr. Grant Money guides Nandi on how to write this really compelling personal statement, which is basically an essay where she gets to share her own unique story and let her personality shine through. He emphasizes the importance of talking about her journey, her dreams, and the challenges that she's overcome.
So she needs to get personal and really open up about her experiences.
Exactly. Scholarship applications can be incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
Reviewers, they're reading through tons and tons of forms and transcripts. It's that personal story, that human element, that really makes an application stand out and connect with the reader on a deeper level. It helps them to see the person behind the grades and the achievements.
Like giving them a glimpse into her world,
Right.
allowing them to understand her drive and determination.
Exactly. And as Mr. Grant Money is sharing all this wisdom with Nandi, the sun begins to set on Cape Town, and something shifts within her. She feels this surge of hope, a renewed sense of possibility.
It's incredible how things can change so quickly, from feeling lost and uncertain to feeling empowered and ready to take on the world.
It really is. It's a testament to the power of mentorship, believing in someone's potential,
Hmm.
and giving them the tools they need to succeed.
And Nandi seems ready to seize this opportunity. She leaves their meeting with this promise to apply for those scholarships, stepping into the holiday season in the future with this newfound sense of purpose. But I'm sure you're wondering what happens next. Does she actually follow through?
That's the big question. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into Nandi's journey. We'll explore the challenges and triumphs of the scholarship application process.
It's amazing how one conversation can just totally spark a transformation like that. She left that meeting with Mr. Grant Money, not just with information, but like this belief in herself. It makes you think about, those moments in our lives that can change like our whole trajectory.
It's like he gave her the tools, to figure things out on her own. And you're so right, we often underestimate the power of our own experiences.
It's so easy to get caught up in our struggles and see them as weaknesses, but maybe those hardships are actually like our greatest strengths, especially when it comes to something like applying for scholarships.
Right, because her story, with all of its challenges and triumphs, becomes her unique selling point. It sets her apart from other applicants and allows her to really connect with whoever is reading her application.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's be real, even with this like newfound confidence and a great story to tell, the actual process of applying for scholarships can be pretty daunting. I mean, there are so many options, so many requirements. Where do you even begin?
Well, research and organization are key. There are tons of scholarships out there, each with its own specific criteria, so she needs to read everything very carefully. All those requirements, deadlines, essay prompts. This is where Mr. Grant Money's advice about aligning her strengths with the scholarship's mission comes in. You wouldn't apply for a STEM scholarship if your passion is for the arts, right?
Right, it's not about applying to as many as possible. It's about finding the ones that are the best fit for you.
Quality over quantity. Imagine her carefully crafting each application, tailoring it to really highlight her experiences. You know how volunteering at the food bank demonstrates her dedication to serving her community, or how her passion for art, reflects her creativity and her desire to make a positive impact. Each application becomes this unique reflection of who she is and what she wants to achieve.
And I imagine that this is where the personal statement comes in. That essay where you really get to tell your story. It's her chance to go beyond just listing accomplishments and really connect with the reader.
Exactly. Remember, we talked about this earlier. Scholarship committees, they're not just looking for academic achievements. They want people who have overcome adversity, who are passionate about their goals, and who have the potential to make a positive impact on the world.
So it's about showing them the person behind the application, the heart and soul that drive her actions.
And that's where storytelling is so powerful. A well-crafted personal statement can transport the reader into her world, allow them to experience her journey right alongside her. It's about evoking emotion, creating a connection, and leaving a lasting impression.
Like she's inviting them to become a part of her story. But writing a compelling personal statement can be intimidating. What advice would you give someone like Nandi as they sit down to write that essay?
Well, first of all, authenticity is key. She needs to write from the heart and share her story in her own voice. It's not about trying to sound perfect or using fancy language. It's about being genuine and letting her personality shine through.
So no need to try to be someone she's not.
Right.
Just be herself, let her experiences speak for themselves.
And remember Mr. Grant Money's advice about sharing her unique perspective. Her experiences, her challenges, her dreams. That's what makes her story compelling.
It's about owning her narrative and using it to her advantage. But I imagine it's also important to strike a balance between vulnerability and strength. She needs to be honest about her struggles, but also show that she's not defined by them.
You're absolutely right. It's about acknowledging the obstacles she's faced, but also highlighting her resilience, her determination. She needs to show that she's learned from her experiences and has come out stronger on the other side.
So it's not just about being a survivor, it's about being a thriver. And I bet the personal statement is also a good opportunity to talk about her goals and what she wants to achieve with this scholarship.
Absolutely. It's about connecting the dots between her past, present, and future.
Mm.
Why is this scholarship important to her? How will it help her achieve her dreams? She needs to paint a clear picture of where she wants to go and how this scholarship will help her get there.
It's like showing them that this isn't just about financial assistance. It's about investing in someone who is driven and ready to make a difference. But writing a powerful personal statement is probably a process.
It is a process. It takes time and effort and a willingness to revise and refine her story. It's always helpful to get feedback from other people. A fresh perspective can often help you see things that you might have missed.
So it's not a one and done kind of thing. It's about being open to feedback and willing to put in the work to make it the best it can be. As we're talking about all this, I'm really struck by Nandi's determination. It's this reminder that we all have a story to tell, and that story can open doors and create opportunities.
It is inspiring, isn't it? It's a reminder that even when things seem impossible, even a single spark of hope can ignite incredible change.
And sometimes that spark comes from the most unexpected places, like a chance encounter with a man and his shimmering pinky ring. But with all this hard work and newfound confidence, we're left wondering, does Nandi's scholarship journey have a happy ending? Does she get the scholarship?
That is the question we will explore in the final part of our deep dive. Stay tuned to find out.
It's been quite a journey with Nandi, hasn't it? From feeling totally overwhelmed by her situation to discovering these hidden strengths and embracing all these possibilities. It's such a good reminder that even when we're faced with these tough choices, we really do have the power to, shape our own paths.
Yeah, and it's been so inspiring to witness her transformation. She's really gone from feeling uncertain about her future to actually taking steps toward her goals. It's like this powerful reminder that sometimes all it takes is a little guidance and like a shift in perspective to unlock our true potential.
Yeah, and she had a pretty amazing guide in Mr. Grant Money. But applying for these scholarships is only half the battle, right? Imagine that waiting period not knowing if all that hard work paid off. That's got to be a mix of excitement and anxiety.
For sure, it's definitely a time that tests your patience and resilience. You're constantly checking your email, hoping for that good news, but you're also bracing yourself for the possibility of rejection. And it's so important to remember that these scholarships are incredibly competitive.
Hmm.
Even the most deserving candidates might face some setbacks along the way.
So how do you stay positive and motivated during that waiting period? It would be so easy to just get discouraged, especially if those rejection letters start rolling in.
And that's where Nandi's newfound belief in herself becomes so crucial. She's not that same girl who felt defeated walking home that day in December. She's learned to recognize her strengths, hone her storytelling skills, and just embrace challenges head on. Those rejections, while disappointing, they don't define her. They don't diminish her worth.
So it's like she's developed a new level of resilience. Like she understands that these setbacks are a part of the journey, not the end of the story.
Right, and that resilience will serve her well, not just in her pursuit of scholarships, but in life.
I know what you're going to ask.
I know you're dying to know.
Does she get the scholarship? All this build up, did her hard work and determination pay off?
Well, while we don't know the specific outcome of Nandi's scholarship applications, what's truly remarkable is this transformation that she's gone through. Whether she receives a scholarship or not, she's gained such valuable skills and this new sense of purpose, and that will benefit her in countless ways.
So even if she didn't get the scholarship, she's still come out ahead. She's learned and she's grown, and she's discovered the strength within herself that she may not have known was there before.
Exactly, and that's such a powerful message for all of us. We often focus on the destination, the end goal, but it's the journey, the obstacles we overcome, the lessons we learn along the way that truly shape us.
Yeah, it's like sometimes the greatest rewards aren't the ones we initially set out to achieve, but it's that unexpected growth and self-discovery that happen along the way.
Nandi's story reminds us that opportunities can come from the most unexpected places. And even these seemingly ordinary experiences can become stepping stones to these extraordinary journeys.
Volunteering, pursuing our passions, sharing our stories, those are all such valuable parts of our lives. And who knows, maybe Nandi's story will inspire other young people facing similar challenges, to pursue their own dreams and realize that they have the power to create a better future.
That's a beautiful thought. The ripple effect of one person's determination and resilience can inspire so many others to step into their own power.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Nandi's world, we're left with this question. What small step can you take today to move closer to your own dreams? What story will you write with your life? Remember, you never know where a chance encounter might lead you, or what hidden strengths you might find along the way. Keep exploring, keep believing, and keep diving deep with us.